Patch 2.0 is dropped for Monster Hunter Rise, and with it came a ton of changes in set building options. Near the end of patch 1.0, I switched mains to Hunting Horn, and got significantly more involved in the math that goes into creating metasets, so that's what we'll be focusing on today. My name is Gravyon, and welcome to Monster Hunter Build Bites. Before we get into the meat of this video, I need to take a moment to go over a few concepts. The first of these is what's known as a 3-point charm. This refers to any charm that has 3 level 2 or higher combat skills on it. For the sake of the builds mentioned today, we'll be focusing on attack boost, critical boost, and weakness exploit on our charms. Also, since level 2 and 3 decoration slots can both fit a level 2 combat skill in them, they also count as a point for our purposes. With weakness exploit and critical boost both getting decorations in patch 2.0, the variety of charms that we can use has expanded massively. As such, when looking to build one of the sets I'll be talking about today, focus more on the skills required rather than the specific armor pieces, and adjust what decorations you use to fit the charms you have. The other concept we need to talk about is that Hunting Horn damage is a bit different than most other weapons. Hunting Horns have 2 different kinds of hits in our arsenal. Normal hits, which can crit and apply elemental damage, and shockwave hits, which cannot crit or apply element, but are hit zone independent. This means that regardless of how bad the hit zone is on a specific monster part, shockwave hits will always do full damage. On average, given optimal combos, shockwave hits can make up between 30 and 40% of your overall damage, and scaling this damage is really important when optimizing your sets. Since it can't crit, the only values that scale our shockwaves are the attack of our weapon, the sharpness of our weapon, and the Hornmaestro skill, which is mandatory on all Hunting Horn sets. Getting into the sets, the current king of the castle is still the Rampage Agatato. This weapon received an upgrade to Rampage Agatato 5 this patch, making it the clear winner out of our available options. Compared to the last Rampage Horn build that I went over, this time we'll be swapping out the attack 2 ramp up skill for sharpness type 1. This, combined with 2 points in handicraft, gets us 20 hits of white sharpness for the monstrous 1.32 times damage multiplier that it provides. With the addition of the insane new Kaiser Crown to the game, we're able to get up to 85% affinity, 291 buffed raw, 514.7 EFR, and 422.5 shockwave EFR. As you can see, this weapon is a beast and continues to crush the competition. For the armor set, you want the following skills: Attack Boost 7, Critical Eye 3, Critical Boost 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Speed Sharpening 3, Handicraft 2, and Hornmaestro. Keep in mind that these sets are designed with solo play in mind, and you may need to make some adjustments to the level 1 skills mentioned to fit flinch-free and for multiplayer lobbies. I've linked the armor set builder in the description below so that you can grab these skills with the charms that you have available. If you haven't yet gotten a 3-point charm that works with these skills, you can take 1 less point in critical boost until 1 drops for you. The runner-up this patch is the new Basil Reed Rookslayer, crafted from Bazelgeuse and Teostra parts. This weapon clocks in at 220 raw and comes with 18 blast, giving it a nice edge against enemies that are weak against it. Due to this weapon needing 3 points in handicraft to reach 20 hits of white sharpness, and not having access to Affinity Song to help counteract the minus 10 affinity that the weapon has baseline, we'll need to drop some points in critical boost to help make up the affinity and meet the sharpness needs of the weapon. Unfortunately, as strong as this weapon is, it still falls behind the Rampage by a bit, especially on targets that are resistant or immune to blast. My testing used the 2-star blast weak Teostra as an example target, resulting in this set. It reaches approximately 492.2 EFR, including the blast, and hits a staggering 440 shockwave EFR. This set also hits 65% affinity and 303 buffed raw. You'll be aiming for the following skills: Attack Boost 7, Critical Eye 5, Handicraft 3, Speed Sharpening 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Critical Boost 1, and Hornmaestro. For the ramp up, you want to take Blast Boost. Overall, the Basil Horn is a bit behind in damage, but it's still a great option, especially in multiplayer, for when you want to bring some healing without sacrificing too much damage. The last set I'll be going over today is a bit of a strange one. This set uses the Tigrex Horn, which normally falls quite far behind our other 2 options. However, since the Tigrex Horn doesn't require handicraft at all in its build, we can use that extra space to stack other skills, like Wirebug Whisperer 3. This skill speeds up the rate at which your Wirebugs recharge while your character is on the ground. More Wirebug uses means more Earthshakers, increasing your overall damage in a way that's quite a bit harder to math out. Understand that while Wirebug Whisperer is very good for Hunting Horn, its effectiveness is entirely dependent on how well you make use of the extra Wirebugs. As such, I do not recommend this set for newer players, as it takes some time to learn how to optimize your Earthshaker uses. The version of the set that I use requires a 4-point charm to make it work, so for a less rare variant, I recommend looking for the following skills: Attack Boost 7, Critical Eye 4, Wirebug Whisperer 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Speed Sharpening 3, Critical Boost 1, Evade Extender 1, and Hornmaestro. The Evade Extender in the set can be swapped out for another point in Critical Eye, however I highly recommend it for when you're facing patch 2.0's new Elder Dragon trio, as it makes it easier to stay near their heads for maximum damage. The Tigrex horn reaches 476 EFR with my current variant, and 432.7 shockwave EFR. For the ramp up, you want to grab attack up too. Overall, I hope you learned a lot and are ready to crush some monsters while your songs buff you and your allies. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more content. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I also stream fairly regularly on Twitch, and I'm more than happy to answer questions there as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and this is Gravyon, signing out.